There's 3 does coming your way, circling around me. They look like they're headed your way, so be alert. You might want to look not down the hill, but the opposite way, okay? Well, here we are, day 2. Set up and ready to go. We ended up pulling into the parking lot about a half hour before legal shooting light. We're going in kind of blind to this spot, so didn't really see a need to tramp through the pre-dawn woods. We waited till sun came up. A couple of guys came and parked next to us and dropped down over the hill. We're up on the level for the most part. I like this spot. It's behind a kind of a deadfall of trees. I saw some deer tracks on the way in. Looked like some beds in some of the thick stuff behind me that you can see. Thicker stuff anyway. Got kind of an open lane here where there's kind of a pinch point where it comes around this dead stuff. And there's open for about probably 100 yards, and then it gets real thick with young clear cut, not too young, but probably about 10-year-old clear cut. So it's a good funnel here, I think. We'll see. Flying blind, you never quite know for sure. But I did see some sign that made me happy today. It had to be fresh because it snowed most of the night. Just light flurries like this, but the wind's blowing today. It's supposed to get rain by noon, which it's pretty cold right now, so it's probably in the upper 20s, so we'll see what happens. And I'll need a little luck today. There's 3 does coming your way, circling around me. They look like they're headed your way, so be alert. You might want to look not down the hill, but the opposite way, okay?
You mean like alongside the hill?
No, I mean away from the hill, back towards me.
I don't know where you are.
Well, I just moved a little bit. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there. Saw 3 doe just skirt the outside of where I was sitting, about 50 yards out, and they stuck kind of in the thicker stuff. And I just couldn't get, one was a fawn. I just couldn't get a clear shot at any of them, but honestly I didn't get a real sense of size. I don't think they were big does. But I radioed my son, who's just down the ways a bit, and he never saw them. So I walked over here and kind of saw where these deer went through. And there's tracks all over in here coming through, so it's kind of a bit of a pinch point, I think, where they're kind of pinching down and going through that clear area. So I think I'm going to set up here for the evening, somewhere right in here. Maybe those trees there between them. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. just trying to adjust. There's another set over here. Could be the same group. Yeah, that's the same group. Look at those, are really fresh. So, we'll see if this pans out. It's cool to see some deer though. Just bumped up a grouse, which I haven't done in a while up here. Pretty cool. Wish I had the camera rolling for that. These are grouse tracks. His bed was right in there. Right where that first fern is, right there. I love seeing grouse. They scare you half to death, but they're cool. And everybody's shooting but me. Well, getting up from my seat a little earlier than planned, that is, because my son Andrew just got on the walkie-talkie and told me that he just shot a buck. So he's given it just a little bit of time, but he's got some bright blood, so that's a good sign. He's just over the hill from me, probably 200-300 yards, somewhere in there. And I heard 2 shots, and I didn't realize it was him, because I think I got turned around a little in here when I was walking around trying to find a new spot. But I have my bearings now, so we're going to go check out what he's got. And hopefully there'll be a buck waiting for us there. Well, I'm in my car right now, as you can tell. It started raining pretty heavily. Thankfully, I got back to my car just in time. But my son, Andrew, he's 16. He is down in the valley, about a couple hundred feet below where I am right now, searching for his deer. He had bright blood. He said it was apparently hit pretty good. Bright red blood, but he found a bed, and I'm guessing he just went a little too quick on it, maybe kicked it up from its bed, and it's still going down the valley right now. He's back on the track, and because he'd got confused because there was another gut pile and another blood trail down there. I'm like, oh no. But he's out of walkie-talkie range, unfortunately, so I'm going to try to connect with him on another road, which I did get a hold of him to tell him that before he got out of range. I'm going to have my dad come and sit at the end of this road with a walkie-talkie, just in case Andrew gets back far enough this way. But this is what it's like hunting the mountains and hitting a deer and trying to find it and coordinate, and it can be it can be downright dangerous, especially when there's weather like this. So you can imagine I'm a little bit on edge. It's my son down there all alone, but I don't want to follow him because we're just going to get too far down there to where we can't get the thing back up to this parking lot. I'd be better off picking him up down at the other parking lot across the hill if I can get there and get a hold of him on the walkie-talkie. So we'll see how this pans out. Could be a buck on the end and maybe a big disappointment. I don't know.
2 hours later.
Well, there's the welcome sight. There he is coming up the hill, one valley over from where we started today. Yeah, unfortunately didn't recover that deer that he had shot. He doesn't know where he hit it, and it went and went and went, and he eventually lost blood trail on it. So that one maybe got away. Of course, it's possible it was a fatal hit. I hope not. I hope it was a clean maybe hit up in the no man's land area where it's not a kill shot. But he's puzzled. We'll go back and see how this gun's shooting, and we'll try to figure it out. Everything in me wanted to go down with him and look for that deer with him and maybe walk him through a tracking scenario like that with little blood and a maze of tracks, and you have to decipher where the deer went among a bunch of other deer and prior gut piles from the first day. I really wanted to go down there, but the truth is that's like a 300-foot elevation drop from top to bottom. And my lower back, which I've had issues with for ages, was really giving me a lot of fits.
I knew if I went down in there, I'd have a really hard time getting back out again. And that's kind of why I didn't hunt the edge of hills this time around in Pennsylvania as much, because I didn't want to risk the fact that my deer would go down at the bottom. In an ordinary situation, and hopefully when my back is better, I would definitely go down over the hill and try to look for that deer with him. It was frustrating to me that I couldn't. And at the end of the day, we all lose them from time to time, and it just really hurts. It sucks. There's no spin you could put on it to make it feel any better. It's just a fact of hunting, and I'm proud of him for sticking with it for 2 hours. We don't think that buck stopped after the first 2 beds, and in the end he learned a lesson that when you find that first bed, sometimes it's best to just back out and let him bed again, and maybe that'll be the end of it.
Well, after that disappointing afternoon, we found out Andrew's scope is way off. He tried putting one in at 50 yards and missed a nice solid stump. And we went to 20, missed that one. So that scope he had a fall on the first day after he came off the well pad that we were at. This was in the morning. He slipped and fell. Didn't think he bumped his scope, but that's probably what did it. So we're gonna have to recite that in tomorrow. But for now, I'm trying to redeem the day here with a quick hunt at my parents' house. Let's flip the camera around. You can see what I'm dealing with here. Got 2 lanes that surrounded by brushy, overgrown fields, which I just love. Overgrown fields, especially if there's goldenrod like this. I'm a big fan of that. Good cover. So I'm gonna sit here tonight and see if I can maybe put down a doe.
Well, after yesterday's disappointing turn of events with my son's buck, we were a little bit lacking in morale this morning on Monday. A lot more snow had come down through the night. The woods were really white and really quiet. By 10 o'clock, I was back out to the car at the well site, waiting for my son to show up and ready to get warm. Nope, he didn't see anything either. In the afternoon, we decided to hit a piece of private land nearby where we were staying. And other than a beautiful snowy owl that zoomed around looking for a mouse or a rabbit, and making me wish that I had a zoomable camcorder or something that I could have captured the moment. Other than that, it was pretty quiet. I'm quickly learning that one of the challenging things about recording a hunt this time of year is that there's very little wildlife moving. The kind of stuff that entertains you during bow season, like squirrels and chipmunks and woodpeckers, and even chickadees and blue jays. There's not much of that happening this time of year. It makes for long hunts and not so exciting video.
Taking a little bit of cover under this hemlock tree here, which is really blocking a lot of the snow that's coming down right now. I'm still getting some on me, but it's not bad. I think it also makes it nice and dark under here, so they're not as likely to see me as easily. I love hemlock trees. Unfortunately, there's a bug called the it's the hemlock woody aphid or something like that. That, like other bugs, infests the tree. And they're seeing loss of a lot of these beautiful hemlocks that grow up through here. I don't know how far along that disease is. It's not a disease, it's a pest, a blight. I don't know how far along it's gone, but it's not a great situation, not a good outlook for our hemlock trees. It's funny, this part of Pennsylvania, when it was settled by the Europeans, it was all hemlock. There was virtually nothing else, just a solid sea of hemlock. If you've ever been in a hemlock thicket, you know how dark that is. So it's hard to believe that this whole area was mostly just dark forest, literally. but they sure are nice for days like today. I'm sitting up above that well site that I was at on opening day, and I saw some deer cross through here. Actually, I didn't see the deer. I saw tracks come through here on opening day. It looked like a good pinch point that maybe they kind of went around the well site, coming up through the draw below me. So that's what we're betting on today, but kind of need that snow to slow down a little bit more, I think. And then maybe we'll see some deer out grazing, looking for food. It's beautiful out here, though. Hot tea really gets you motivated to stay longer. Huge morale booster.